Creating e-learning communities. So you've decided to teach online. This decision will be the first in a series of many, as designing and delivering an online course is a creative process, as much an art as it is based in pedagogy. Of course, like with any course, your first consideration should be your objectives. What do you want students to know and or do, and how well or to what extent? But let's set objectives aside for a moment and address the overall paradigm shift that occurs or should occur when a course moves from a face-to-face traditional classroom situation to online delivery. It's critical to acknowledge this shift because if you were thinking about teaching an online course, chances are you've already been teaching traditional face-to-face courses, and if that's the case, then chances are you were a successful student in the traditional environment yourself. The natural tendency is to try to replicate in an online environment what you've succeeded at as both student and teacher. For example, the first thing many new online instructors do when designing an online course is to create an online discussion board as a way to replicate the classroom discussion experience. While discussion board forums have value and are based in research-based teaching methods, they do not serve to replicate or replace the kind of engagement that happens in a classroom discussion. There are more effective ways than discussion boards to engage students online, and we'll get to these. First, with our objectives momentarily set aside, let's talk about one of the tenets of a successful online teaching and learning experience, online presence, being there. We can start to develop an online presence and foster an e-learning community when we consider that the medium is inherently social, and that this social space requires inferential intelligence. You and your students will need to rely on cognitive and social processes to ascertain one another's intentions and emotions and to make sense of behaviors. In an online environment, there is a lot of potential for content ambiguity and miscommunication. Part of being there then for your students is moving into a role that is multifaceted. You are a designer, facilitator, tutor, mentor, evaluator, observer, and perhaps most importantly, you are a catalyst. Being there means you are in a situation where there is a dynamic interplay of thought, emotion, and behavior, and you are at the intersection of the private world, the shared world, and the interactive. Modeling this online presence and being there can be accomplished in many ways. Before the course, you can send a welcome letter, or better yet, send a link to a video of you introducing yourself and your teaching and research interests, and invite students to do the same. Some instructors find it effective to set up a discussion forum that operates like a water cooler area, where students can introduce themselves and discuss aspects of the course or its topics. And in this sort of discussion, students should be allowed to introduce topics themselves. But they will still need you to model how to catalyze and foster a good discussion. Before or at the start of a course, it's always a good idea to hold a scavenger hunt, where students have to find specific images, data, or complete a series of steps within your course. In an LMS or learning management system, it is possible to set up your hunt so that as students complete certain actions, new course areas are opened up. Perhaps the final course area to open up in this situation or scavenger hunt provides a link to an introduction forum where students can upload short bio videos. Some instructors find it useful to use brief and simple learning style assessments that help both instructors and their students. Instructors can customize their delivery, and students can increase metacognition. Finally, students will need to know how to communicate with you during the course. Set up virtual office hours and ask students to practice entering the virtual classroom or virtual office hours before they need to attend an appointment or attend a session. You could provide them with links to your virtual office and have them share with you and one another any questions or comments they have about the entry process or required technology. Preparation is the key. These are all ways to establish course presence before or at the beginning of a course. During the course, it is important that you use tools for announcements, such as a news widget, and to use them as frequently as you expect students to check in with your course. It is also good practice that when you post new news announcements, you also send an email. This way, students can receive updates either by going to the course site and checking the news announcements, or by checking their mail. In an online course, access is more important than brevity. You can also demonstrate course presence through formative feedback, the kind of feedback that you time so that students can make improvements before final assessments. And in an online course, you can provide formative feedback globally by uploading videos that address holistic issues and perhaps highlight the best works of the week. Consider, too, what some call Learning 2.0 strategies. The idea of Learning 2.0 is related to the way Web 2.0 tools such as Google World, Prezi, Padlet, Glogster, Evernote, Gliffy, and many, many more Web 2.0 tools are designed. Users upload their content into Web 2.0 tools to manipulate and share the content. When I create a presentation, video, blog, etc. with one of these tools, I will be given the opportunity to share my finished product through links, through inviting users, viewers, or collaborators, or via embed code. Like Web 2.0, Learning 2.0 is all about content, learner-generated content. When you apply Learning 2.0 strategies, you foreground students' work, making it a critical course text. Perhaps students create and share presentations via Brainshark, develop timelines together in groups via Dippity, or develop a group wiki that works toward a course topic, course project, maybe end of course presentation. When you refer to any of these end products throughout the course, and thus refer students to one another's work, you are elevating their content to course text status, using the digital medium to foster an online community, and motivating students by appealing to their desire to be present and, quote, liked online as well. When the course is over, students may be too busy or bewildered to provide the comprehensive feedback you desire. So instead of waiting until the end of the semester, practice online course presence by asking students throughout the semester how it's going. Use easy rating tools such as a quick SurveyMonkey or Google form that allows students to provide both quick responses and open areas where they can write or record at length. Speaking of recording, don't forget about straight audio. Your busy students may find your podcasted lectures allow them to listen as they commute to and from work or go out for a jog. Use simple web tools like Blog Talk Radio or Podomatic or even Audacity to create and share your audio productions. In the ideal situation, at the end of the semester, students will want to keep the community going. So make sure you have enabled this somehow, perhaps establishing a virtual home base such as a Wigio or Google community that can exist and evolve beyond the semester and outside your learning management system. These are all good practices for creating online presence and developing and fostering an e-learning community.